On today's episode of the Sports Mules, we'll try to figure out exactly how the hell did I get some of my NFL picks right? Why is everybody leaving Alabama right after they got a new head coach? What is the exact reason why the Cowboys and Eagles suck at life? And can a plant be assaulted in a hibachi bathroom? All these questions and more will be answered. It's Ojark 30 and I'm tired as hell. Classy, bougie, ratchet. I am not savage right now. Wake up, Mules Nation. Time to dig in. Good morning, Mules Nation. Welcome to the Sports Mules. I am, as always, your underappreciated, overworked, and often undercaffeinated host, Eric Kiner. I hope you're all having a wonderful week. However you're listening, whenever you're listening, thank you for making us a part of your day. I have been up all day so far, basically. I have randomly took some naps. It is extremely early in the morning. I'm extremely tired, and usually I'm already miserable to begin with. But today there's a little extra spice on it. So I hope you enjoy the program, regardless of my bitter taste. Because some people don't like bitter taste in your mouth. Just tell the person to eat more pineapple. But that's a different conversation. So, but I hope you guys are having a very good week. Mine hasn't been too bad. And, the week started off well. Went out and had a wonderful hibachi dinner to celebrate a friend's birthday on Monday. It was a great time. A lot of crazy things happen. Hibachi bars, though, and grills. Or whatever you call them, restaurants, whatever. A lot of things go on. I am a big fan of the, when they start dicing up the food and chucking it up in the air, trying to make you catch it. And sometimes you just can't catch the food in your mouth, right? You're just not built that way. Or sometimes, the chef just has poor angles and he can't get it to you properly. And I don't blame them, right? That's life. Nobody's perfect. I do rather enjoy, when they start shooting the sake into your mouth, because I'll do it and I'll take as much as I can, right? Keep it clean, all right? Keep it clean or not, but this is a family program. But I'll try to take as much in my mouth as I can, but I want direct eye contact the entire time, right? You look at me in the eyes when we do this, right? There's going to be a connection, so I don't feel as weird. You just try to keep your eye contact. Enjoy the sake. They're always going to come back to you. They always do the one pass, and they always come back because, they're sadists. But sometimes too much sake can be dangerous because sometimes, people go to the bathroom and then, plants could be, physically assaulted in there and get more action than I get. So I don't know if I'm really concerned about the plant safety or I'm just slightly jealous. Maybe it's a little bit of both. I don't know. But it was a great night. Probably ate too much. And it's always dangerous, right, when you eat too much, right? There's two paths that you can go on, right? You can eat too much and then get bound up and then be like, well, I have to go get a colonoscopy and get myself cleaned out, like the radiator system on your car for maintenance. Or sometimes if you get some of the spicy stuff, and it's a little too spicy, like if if you're down in the islands and get some jerk chicken, sometimes that stuff will really just tear through your system, like a runaway train, and then all of a sudden you're shitting through a screen door. So you have to, it's 50-50 what you're going to get. But yeah, I probably ate a little bit too much there. But still, it was a great time. Had a lot of fun. Great time with great people. I am truly blessed to have the people I have in my life, and the people I get to know, and the new people I get to meet, and new experiences. And it's Teddy Swim says it's you have to find something in your life that you can hold on to. Someone who will be there for you. Someone somewhere you can call home, and somebody will die for you. Because in the end, that's all that really matters. So enjoy life. Enjoy your time with your friends. Be happy. you know, drink too much sake, eat too much food, um, you know, try to get possible SA charges against you and against plants in hibachi bathrooms, but just enjoy it because life is short. You never know what tomorrow brings. But I do know what this weekend brings, and let's get into that. Chantwy. So for all of our non-sports interested listeners, you're now free to move about the cabin, undo your seatbelts. The restrooms are now open, and the Wi-Fi signal is now strong and free for you, so you can go about your day and enjoy yourself, even though you've probably eaten all of your survival kit by now. But so you're free to do what you want. But for everybody else who wants to hear some sports, all 6 of you, get ready because here it comes. So last week when we went over the playoffs coming up here, and I gave my picks, which we have all learned by now, I'm not very good at, right? Much like this show, it's here. I'm just not good at it. But we did have a very good week last week, right? Went 4-2. What a week. For me, that's huge, right? I mean, that's an incredible week. And the 2 games I lost, which we'll get into here briefly, the 2 games I lost are probably the 2 games I was almost locked in to have the wins for. But we'll get into why both those programs are just complete dumpster fires, and I feel like ninja kicking some people. But this week coming up, right, so our winners from last week, right, Texans won, Packers won, the Bucks won, the Chiefs won. Just great wins for all those teams. Lions got that victory in there that we were hoping for, that we wanted as this feel-good story. And then the Bills won against the Steelers because. But this week coming up is when it gets a little bit more serious, right? We get the number 1 seeds that have their nice bye week, all healed up as much as possible, fresh, got to watch the games in real time, and then along with their film study and prepare for this week. So I think this week there's 2 more really great games that I'm super interested in, and they're probably not the ones everybody thinks. So let's dive into that a little bit. So Saturday we start off with Texans-Ravens. So Ravens, number 1 pick, our number 1 seed in the AFC. They had their bye week. Now they come in here. They get a Texans team that last week looked super strong, right? Defense was good. Offense was clicking. C.J. Stroud for the Texans. I mean, that kid's a rookie, but you would be hard-pressed to find a lot of layman people in football who are just watching who didn't realize that this kid is in his 18th game, going into his 19th game of his career. He looks lights out. Their Texans defense is great. They did a phenomenal job. But now they have to go to Baltimore, go outside in the elements. It's going to be cold. It's going to be windy. It's going to be snowy probably. And those Raven fans are going to be fired up. But we've seen in the past Ravens be in this situation and not perform how they should. So are we going to get the Ravens team that we have seen all season, or are we going to get the Ravens team that has showed up in the last couple years of the playoffs and just kind of underwhelm ourselves and not take the Texans properly and kind of lose this fantastic opportunity that they have? But so that's a really good game. I'm going to have to go with the Texans, or I'm sorry, with the Ravens on that one. I probably should have stuck with my initial sole pick there of the Texans, but I think the Ravens, obviously a better team overall. We'll find out. I think that first quarter is the big one. It's really going to show us exactly what we have going on here. Did the Ravens prepare themselves and come up fired up to put their the proverbial foot on their throat and take over and show what they can really do and who they really are, or are they going to let the Texans hang around and just have that young team, young quarterback, first-time head coach who don't know that they're not supposed to be there and doing the things they're doing. So that first quarter is going to say a lot, but I still think the Ravens, end of the day, are going to come out on top on that one. And then the next game we have at night, Great rivalry, humongous tradition in this one, right? We got Packers and 49ers. The Packers went into Dallas last week and just made a complete joke and mockery of them boys, right? Zach disappears like he usually does in, January in the playoffs. He takes off like dad going out for cigarettes and never coming back. So they just humiliated Dallas, right? They came out here right from the start. They wanted the ball first, drive down the field, don't look like they can be stopped really. Dallas couldn't stop the run. They went from their usual man defense to this zone coverage, and they were just getting picked apart in the zone coverage because they were getting enough time. The offensive line for the Packers was giving enough time that Jordan Love can move around, right? Find an open guy and deliver the ball and just keep the drive going. And they did that the entire game. The second half, especially, kind of late third, but most of the fourth quarter, it looked like the Packers took their foot off the gas. And sometimes, in any sport, but especially in football, right, you take that foot off the gas. And a lot of times it's hard to jam that thing back down when you need to. That's why you have to go, until that tank's empty, you got to have that gas down all the way. And Dallas came back a little bit towards the end, but like I said, I think the offense and defense had said, "Oh my God, we're up we're up so much, they're not going to come back," and they let it go, and things happen. So the final score looked a little closer than that game was. The Packers just crushed them that entire game from start to finish. Now we have the 49ers, right, number one seed. In the NFC, same thing, right? They've had that bye week. They got to watch the games live. Kyle Shanahan is one of the best offensive minds in this sport right now, maybe ever. He knows how to prepare that team, but the 49ers also have issues, much like the Ravens do, where sometimes they overthink themselves or they overlook their opponent, or there's certain points in the game, and Shanahan has had this problem for a long time. His dad had it as well, that there's moments in every game where you have to make the right decision, right? There's a million moments in there, but there's a few key ones where they have to make the right decision. And sometimes they don't, right? Sometimes he presses when he shouldn't. Sometimes he doesn't press when he should press. It's almost like Andy Reid, right? Andy Reid forever has had problem with clock management and timeouts, still can't figure it out. I know he's had tremendous success, but still struggles with that. Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers seem to do that as well at times. But I think it's going to be a phenomenal game. That's, the one that I'm really interested in for this weekend. If the Packers play 80% as well as they did last week against the Cowboys, and the 49ers are just the 49ers, I think this could be an all-time epic divisional playoff round. But end of the day, right, we have to make picks so that I can be incorrect about something. I still got to go with the 49ers because I just think, again, much like the Ravens, I just think they're a better, well-rounded team. And the 49ers defense is stellar, and I think that they will make the adjustments that the Cowboys didn't. So I'm going to go with the 49ers on that one. So that's our Saturday games, right? Texans, Ravens, Packers, Niners. I'm going chalk on everything here. Ravens, 49ers to win. And then Sunday we have Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who just decided that they wanted to set the entire city of Philadelphia on fire by winning that game on Monday night. Congratulations to them. They deserve to win the game, right? They were the better team that night. So the Bucs have it, and then the Bucs are going to, it's unbelievable that I say this, Detroit for a divisional round game to play the Lions. If you didn't see the game last week for the Lions and Rams, probably one of the best wild card games ever. Easily one of the best games I have watched in the NFL in, I don't know, the last 15, 18 years. That Ford's Field, that fan base has been craving this for so long. That game and that stadium was electric from warm-ups. If you heard them, like the entire stadium chanting Jared Goff's name before he was even coming out of the tunnel. Till the end of that game, you have people who have been season ticket holders for 60 some years, 89 years old, and it's this is the second playoff game victory they've ever seen, enjoying it. Eminem is there, lighting up the stadium. The entire stadium is singing "Lose Yourself." Fans are crying in the stands. It's one of those things. It's a magical night. It reminds you what's so great about sports. You have certain fan bases. They win all the time. They're always good. And sometimes you take this stuff for granted. And then you see a franchise like the Lions who has just been historically not great. And to see them finally succeeding and giving that city, a city who has also struggled the last 30 years or so, 40 years, to see them have these moments of just elation. It's just incredible to see. And Dan Campbell and that staff, everything they everything they've done. Right when he took that job in his press conference, people laughed at him. People said, "This is a joke. Why are they giving it to this guy?" Him and the GM and even the owner now. The owners for years have been a problem, but the daughter is in control now, and she is generally trying to do what's best for the organization and put a winner out there. And that trio together, and odd as it is, Dan Campbell was a member of the 0-16 Lions, and here he is now, the head coach, division champs, wild card playoff winner, hosting another game in a divisional round. You cannot write a better script. If you wrote it and gave it to Hollywood, they would say this is nonsense. Nobody's going to believe this shit. But here they are, and I think the Lions' defense is better than the Eagles' defense, and they're going to, again, almost like with the 49ers making the proper adjustments against the Packers' offensive line and scheme. I think the Lions are going to do that to the Bucs, and I just don't want this to end right now. So I'm going to go with Lions on that one. Go with the heart sometimes. It's okay. And then the final game of the weekend, Chiefs-Bills in Buffalo. This is a game that I think, right, the Chiefs are the Chiefs, and the Bills, right, this battle the last couple of years, especially in the playoffs, has been one of the marquee ones. And here we go again. We get another round. This is kind of a tough one because I think you get the Bills at home again in this ridiculous weather and just the energy. It's difficult, but again, I have to go back, much like I said, for the 49ers and the Ravens, right? Decisions at times that you have to make the right decision. It's 50-50 if they're going to do it. And when you go up a veteran team and coaching staff like the Chiefs, you can't be 50-50 on those crucial decisions. And I think the Chiefs are going to take this one here. I'm sure a lot of other channels will go over and give a better breakdown than I did by simply just saying who I think should win or I want to win. There's a lot of key factors in it, but end of the day, I think you're in the playoffs now. The Chiefs are like, okay, this is old hat to them now, right? I know the Bills have been there as well the last couple of years, but the Chiefs, obviously 3 Super Bowls the last couple of years, won 2 of them. They're just in that pattern again. I go, okay, here we go. And last year, with the Chiefs' defense being so young, they're still young. They're still one of the youngest defenses in the NFL, but they have all this incredible experience because they've made these incredible runs the last 2 years. So I think end of day, the Chiefs are going to win. So this weekend, Ravens, Niners, Lions, Chiefs. Wow. The Lions make it to the Super Bowl. I'm gonna shit myself. That'll be great. But that's my picks. So we'll check in next week to see exactly how bad I am. Okay, let's try to record this segment again because it's not like I'm not already tired and moody to begin with. And then apparently, garbage men just come and make as much noise as they feel like at any moment, at any hour of the day. Anywho, speaking of garbage men and trash, so the two games that I lost this weekend, the Cowboys and the Eagles, were two that I said were probably, I thought were locks for this weekend. But I should have known better. That's on me. My bad, everybody. I should have known better. So the Cowboys do what they do best, which is have, all part of the cycle, right? I'm sure you've seen that there's, the image online of the Cowboys cycle. And we got to the, we're going to win it. We're the best team. We got a great offense, great defense. And then get to the playoff and just get choked out like an MMA fighter, right? Except they're not choking anybody out. They're the ones getting choked out. Mike McCarthy, I don't even know what to say, right? I get it. Congratulations to him. He's an NFL head coach. He's been in the league forever at various positions. He's won a Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers won it for him. But Jesus fucking Christ. How are you in this league this goddamn long and still seem completely fucking baffled, right? He called all the offensive plays, and then it was too much for him, or other people told him it was too much for him, because you're trying to be the fucking head coach. So he gives up the duties, but still has to micromanage. He leaves, and then, he takes over the duties again because he's a fucking control freak sociopath. It just comes up with the stupidest shit I've ever seen in my life. Dak Prescott, again, it's like a head coach making the offensive plays, makes a terrible call, and then Dak takes it and makes a bad call worse by making even more terrible decisions. You would think two negatives make a positive, but they don't. And they just look like complete trash. The entire game, from start to finish, look just befuddled about everything that's happening to them. The Packers have as many home playoff wins at AT&T Stadium as the Cowboys do. Dak is throwing pick sixes all over the place and turning the ball over. It just looks like trash. They finally get Micah Parsons on some holding calls, but it doesn't matter anyway because they go from the man defense that they always play to a zone defense and just get picked apart. So, again, Eagles and Cowboys, thanks for representing the NFC East so well. But yeah, the Cowboys just do what they do best, which is talk a lot of shit all year about how great they are, and everybody in the media just sits there and can't circle jerk them enough. And then, they get to the playoffs and just go, whatever, I got reservations at the golf course. And then take off because that's how they work. And Jerry Jones, I feel bad for him, but I don't. Just, I don't know what to say for the Cowboys. It's now been 30 years of this shit. And I'm just tired of it. I'm tired. I'm not even a Cowboys fan, and I'm just tired of it. Because I'm tired of hearing about how great they are, and then watch them just act like total buffoons in the playoffs, and then the cycle starts all over again. Right? It's just I'm just tired of it. So I'm tired of the Cowboys, and then I'm tired of the Eagles as well. Started 10-1, go 1-7 the rest of the year, or whatever the hell they finish with. Not good. I can tell you that. Not good. They haven't looked good in 2 months. Then they get to this game and just from the beginning just looked like they just didn't want to be there. Defense stinks. And I'm not talking about the players, great players, just the scheme, everything is just bad. They don't look like they want to be there. You got Eagles fans being Eagles fans. I mean, they're already... Philadelphia sports fans are already the most bipolar fan base maybe in the world, right? If you want to really enjoy yourselves, listen to Philadelphia Sports Talk Radio. When the team is doing great, we're winning the Super Bowl, we're winning the World Series, we're winning the NBA Finals, we're winning the Stanley Cup, whatever, right? You win 5 games in a row, and they're like, It's the greatest team ever. We can't be stopped. Lose a game or two in the world. I hate this team. I hate this city. I don't know why I support these guys. They're ruining my life. I'm going to go, commit bodily harm. I'm going to end game myself. Whatever it is, right? They immediately go from this is the greatest moment of my life. I'm going to name my next child Sirianni to I want this guy fired. I want his house burned. I want every record of his existence removed. I want him sent to the gulags in Russia. And that's all just, in 2 weeks, that's all it takes. But Sirianni brings on some of this stuff himself, right? I love the fire. I love the attitude, but he's also one of the most ignorant ass coaches I have ever seen in my life that runs his mouth at every opportunity. Maybe this is why he's great for Philly. Runs his mouth at every opportunity to talk shit, say stuff to and about the other team. But then when it comes to his team and poor performance, it mum's the word, right? And then he gets called out on his shit, deservedly so, because you act like an idiot. And then when people get to go, well, we told you, I don't, should he be fired? I don't know. It's tough to say in press conferences that, when things are good, right? My fingerprints are all over this team, right? Like a Ted Bundy crime scene, my fingers are all over the place. And then, I had to cut that last segment short because, more stuff going on here. But anyway, I think I got my point across that Eagles suck, Cowboys choke, just the absolute worst for both of them. Just both head coaches deserve to be kicked directly in the balls repeatedly. So moving on from that. What a great segue. So Alabama got a new head coach. So Nick Saban steps down, and Alabama decides to go with Kalen DeBoer, the head coach formerly at Washington, who just took them to the national championship game. And I think a lot of people say, him? That's who you want to go with? I think it's a good pick. He's 104 in 12 in his overall coaching record, right? He's won 3 national championships at Sioux Falls, which is an NAIA school, which is like a weird in between D2, D3. It's kind of its own little thing. But won 3 national championships there from 05 to 09, went to a 4th one, 67-3 overall record. Fresno State, the 2 years he was there, 1 year was a COVID year, goes 12-6, and then goes to Washington in 2 years, takes a 4-8 team, and goes 25-3, wins the Pac-12 championship, gets them to the national championship game, 14-1 this season, in a national championship game that they lost to a better Michigan team. But quite frankly, they had a lot of opportunities in that game that they could have done better. And 3 or 4 plays here in that game, it could be a different story. But he wins wherever he goes. And I think that's the big thing that needs to be taken away from here, right? He knows how to win at programs. He knows how to turn around programs. And he was all set to go lead Washington into the Big Ten next year. And you get this opportunity, and it's hard to say no to Alabama, right? I know a couple other people that they talked to that they wanted that were ahead of him in the queue said no, but I think the reason they said no were good reasons, right? They asked Sarkisian at Texas, do you want to go to Alabama? To some extent, it's a lateral move, right? You're the head coach at Texas. Like there's 4 or 5 blue bloods in this sport, and Texas and Alabama are one of them. And leaving one to go to another one, it's a lateral move. So I understand him not wanting to leave Texas. And they asked Oregon's head coach to come back. He was an assistant there for a while. And again, right, he's staying at Oregon. You've got all this money. You're going to the Big Ten. You get all your Nike money, all the resources you want. You're a young coach, and you're getting to build your program, not be burdened by coming in after Nick Saban, one of the greatest the sport's ever seen. You get to build your program. So I understand that move, staying there. And it's kind of the same thing at Washington, but, Washington to Alabama. Washington doesn't really have all the resources that Oregon has. They are not the name brand that Texas is. So getting that opportunity to go to Alabama makes total sense. But I think it's a great move by Alabama. The fact that they went so fast, I understand, because you have, in this day and age, you have to make those moves quick, and you have to make those decisions fast. But I like the move. I think it's good. My issue with all of this now is all of the players now going into the transfer portal for Alabama. Did you go to Alabama because of Nick Saban, or did you go to Alabama because it was Alabama? And did you go to Alabama because it's Nick Saban's Alabama? And again, right, it's all of their rights to leave, and it's all of their rights to go in the transfer portal, right? You came to play for a coach, and he's retiring, and you may not like the new guy, you may not like the new guy, whatever it is, right? It's your right. I understand leaving, but it's a lot of it I find somewhat shocking, because to know the culture and program that Nick Saban built, to now watch all of those guys leave for the simple fact that he's not there anymore, or you don't think the program is going to be up to the level that it had been that he's gone, I find that shocking, because he built the program that, nobody is bigger than the program. It's the next man up mentality. Everybody here is a great player. You got to get the right people on the bus and get the wrong people off the bus and get the right people in the right seats. It was about that commitment to being the best you can be in any circumstances, and preparing yourself throughout the week and throughout the off season, so that when your moment came, you were prepared and ready to go. And to now see them all just leave that system, right? Nick Saban's gone, and maybe some other coaches will leave for just for retirement themselves, or they'll leave to go get other go work at other programs. But to see all these players start to leave now, the heart of the program is the players. And, coaches may leave, but that heart is still there. And I find it somewhat disheartening that the second he leaves, everyone starts to, jump ship, which then creates, I want to leave because I don't think we're going to be as good as we used to. Well, yeah, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You're all leaving, which means there's all these people they now have to try to find and fill in and do all this extra recruiting to bring great players back in because you left, which now hurts the program and puts it at a disadvantage and makes it not as good as it used to be. So, like I said, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm afraid of this, so I'm going to do this, which causes the thing that you were afraid of. And, to each their own. It's their right. It's the portal. It's how it works. And everybody has their reasons, but some of it seems to be, I don't know, the coward's way out, to just leave because your coach is gone and you don't think you're going to be as good as you were. So now you're going to transfer and be able to get to any of these other every one of these kids is going to be able to leave to go to Texas, to go to Georgia, to go to Michigan, to go to Oregon, to go to Ohio State. They're going to get to go to whatever program they want to go to because you got recruited by Nick Saban to go to Alabama. You can go wherever you want. They wanted you too. So they get to go to a great program. And get to live, that high level life they want, but they don't want to stay and continue to fulfill the legacy and the expectations that Nick Saban had for them, that he brought them in. They're just going to say, nah, this isn't for me. I just want to win. I don't want to actually do the work. That's what it feels like. I'm not saying it is. And again, everybody has their own reasons, but I think they made the right choice. They made a good decision in who they hired. Give them a chance, give them the opportunity, and if anything, have some pride in your school, in your program, and be like, no, I'm not going to leave. I'm going to be the reason that we continue to be successful in honor of Nick Saban, in honor of our staff, in honor of everything that they've done for me. I'm not just going to now abandon ship because he's gone. I'm going to continue the legacy. I'm going to be a part of it instead of saying, deuces, I'm out. So before we get going here and finishing off the morning or afternoon or evening or whenever the hell you're listening, some farewells and some new beginnings. So he hasn't officially done it, but everything seems to be leaning in that direction. If he does it, I'd be happy, right? I'll be more than happy to do another episode where I welcome him back. But everything so far looks like he's going to do it. So Jason Kelce, 13 seasons in the NFL, all with the Eagles, 193 games, 6-time first-team All-Pro, which is what really matters. I know everybody think he's a 7-time Pro Bowler, which everybody likes to put on there, but the All-Pro is really the more important thing there, and what a great 6 times. That's just phenomenal. 2-time All Big East, second team, but still second team All Big East when he was in college at Cincinnati. That's still an incredible honor. And a Super Bowl champ. Super Bowl 52 champ. Congratulations to him. And also one of the best podcasts that's out there, him and his brother. Kudos to them. And, I'm just glad when good things happen to good people. And he seems like a genuine human being, which is rare to find. So, horrible way to end his final season and his final game. And it was difficult to watch him on the sideline. Kind of, you can see the realization setting in of what was happening. Something that you've probably done since you were 5 or 6 years old, in the sport that you have played since you were probably 8 or 9. And, to get to this age and walk away from it as a player, right? You can always do a coach or you can always do whatever, but to play it all those years and to step away from it is difficult to see. And I know that feeling he had on the sidelines, and it hurts, and it hurts to go out that way. But what a phenomenal career if this is it. Well deserving of all the praise and respect that he's gotten, that he does get. And yeah, if this is it for him, fond farewell, and go off and live your best life with your incredible family, and just enjoy the fruits of your labor all these years. And then I want to give a special congratulations. One of my former players at Muhlenberg is transferring for his 5th year to UNC, University of North Carolina. Incredible young man, absolutely outstanding, fantastic family from the first day I met them in recruiting. Until now, he gave me a call, said he was going. Couldn't be more proud of him and everything he's done as a player and as a leader, but more importantly, I'm proud of him as the young man I've got to see him develop into. His, like I said, his outstanding family has clearly done something right, and I'm just super proud for him and his family. What an accomplishment! And he gets to take what the Mules are and our Centennial Conference banner and take it to the ACC, into a top tier program, and get coached by somebody, Mac Brown, who's very special, important to me. When I was first trying to get into coaching, I wrote a bunch of letters out trying to get a job, and the first person to ever respond back to me was Mac Brown when he was at Texas, and had a very personal letter to me, and kind of gave me the roadmap that I eventually followed for coaching. And so to have this kind of come full circle, a guy at my beginning to tell me the best way to do things that let me get into coaching, to then help recruit and coach up, this young man and meet his family, to then have him end his career with that same coach is for me, it's mind-boggling at time. But I'm just so proud of him and his family, and excited to see where the story goes from here. I did tell him he better send me some free gear, because I got that Jordan brand stuff, and I love me some Jumpman. So, but yeah, just Jason Kelce, what an incredible career, and one of my favorite players and people of all time, getting to continue his playing career and finish his education off at an outstanding institution. I mean, it's tough to beat that. It's a good day. It's always a good day to be a mule, but this week it's been a really good week to be a mule. So. Well, that's it for this week's episode. I'm going to go make some coffee, see if I can go out and get some methamphetamine or something to help me with this day, because it's going to be a long day. It's going to be long. But thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed yourself, had some laughs. And just enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the playoff games. We'll come back next week and recap everything. And, as football starts to slow down here, we'll start to touch on some of the other sports. But thank you guys for listening. Like, subscribe, send in comments, threats of violence, whatever it happens to be. Let me know if there's anything you want me to talk about specifically, or something you want me to stop talking about. But yeah, just enjoy it. Have fun. Until next time, dig in. Go Mules.